Ken Kesey was born in 1935 in La Junta, Colorado. He grew up in Oregon and returned there to teach until his death in November 2001. After being elected most likely to succeed by his high school class, Kesey enrolled in the University of Oregon. He married in 1956, a year before receiving his bachelor's degree. Afterward, he won a fellowship to creative writing program at Stanford University. While he was there, he became a volunteer in a program to test the effects of new drugs at the local Veterans Administration Hospital. During this time, he discovered LSD and became interested in the studying alternative methods of perception. He soon took a job in a mental institution where he spoke extensively to the patients. Ken Kesey's One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is based largely on his experiences with the mental patients. Through the conflict between Nurse Ratched and Randall P. McMurphy, the novel explores the themes of individuality and rebellions against conformity, ideas that were widely discussed at a time when the United States was committed to opposing communism and oppressive rules around the world. However, Ken Kesey's approach, directing criticism at American institutions themselves, was complete in a way that would find greater expression during the 60s. The novel was published in 1962 and it was an immediate success. With his newfound wealth, Kesey purchased a farm in California, where he and his friends experimented heavily with LSD. He soon became the focus of a growing drug cult. Kesey believed that using LSD to achieve altered states of mind could improve the society. His high profile as an LSD leader in the midst of the public's growing hysteria and other drugs attracted the attention of legal authorities. Kesey fled to Mexico after he was caught trying to flush some marijuana down a toilet. When he returned to the United States, he was arrested and sent to jail for several months.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is set in a mental asylum where male patients rebel against the institutional oppression. The novel emphasizes the importance of individuality, the dignity of personhood, and the following themes. The stigma of disability. The novel explores the stigma of mental disability. Most of the main characters are patients in a sanitarium, but rather than focus on the characters' symptoms, the narrative emphasizes their complexity as human beings. The novel invests in each character by showing their emotional side as well as their unique gifts and talents. The blur between disability and ability. The novel blurs the distinction between disability and ability by presenting many patients who, despite having been declared insane, are remarkably gifted and talented. Their actions are characterized as insane by hospital staff, but their motivation for acting out are often very rational. Furthermore, the novel shows how the institutional staff, the sane people, often behave irrationally. For instance, Nurse Ratched goes ballistic when the patients protest to watch the World Series. The threat of women. The female characters in the novel are portrayed as threatening. The narrator describes the head nurse as a terrifying figure who emasculates her patients. Broden and McMurphy try to plot against the matriarchal power, which they blame for their suffering. Furthermore, Some of the male patients have been psychologically damaged by assertive women. The narrator's mother, for instance, abused him and his father. Also, Vivid's mother inhibited her son from developing sexually. The assertion of masculinity. Some of the male characters try to overcome the threat of women by asserting their masculinity. For instance, Bibi regains his confidence as a man by having sex with Candy. He dominates her, and this allows him to feel in control in a way that his mother never authorized. McMurphy also acts out against Nurse Ratched in order to assert his independence.